They had it last time. They really weren't in the position to do a great deal about it either. Ocelot doesn't have it, which is going to be a problem for him, but Candy Panda is looking very strong. Phantom Dancer, Quicksilver Sash and Infinity Edge. So that's four Quicksilver Sashes, sorry, for SK. They're so worried about that Malefic Vision, sorry, the Suppress, sorry, from Moment that they actually don't need to worry about. N-rated also, of course, could get in there. You could get the taunt from Shen. So there's so much they can just escape straight over it now. So SK have built up towards it. So now I would say SK are actually probably in a stronger position because they've already prepared for a defense mechanism against the team fights. Yeah, the Quicksilver Sashes across the board. I mean, Janna the only one without one, and to be honest, her money could be a little bit better spent. And we are going to see Against All Authority go for the push. SKR down on the bottom side of the map. The ping to fall back has just gone down there. Ocelot needs to be careful. So took a bit of damage from the tower, and that will force SK back. And you know what? What Against All Authority are doing here is actually buying themselves a lot of time as well. They've seen SK going down. Okay, we push middle. SK are now coming back. And Against All Authority go somewhere else. And they're just going to try and run rings around them until this Baron buff is out. It's actually less than a quarter still remaining on it. Yeah, and SK being clever here. They're pushing mid. They realise that they've actually gone north. And suddenly they're like, oh, fine, that's an open inner turret. Kevin can tank that one up, no problem at all. Shield goes across him, Turtle Shield as well. That will be the inner turret going down. Meanwhile, the rest of Against All Authority having to back away. So they've basically done exactly what they tried to force SK to do. And Against All Authorities have had to teleport back and defend that turret. SK are going to switch it up and steal away all the resources. You can see them immediately. Clairvoyance goes down. They're going to steal off that blue buff. Red buff is not available. And Against All Authorities, will they push up mid? That will be very ballsy play from them. Do they feel they have the strength in a team fight? I'm not too sure between these two teams. It's very, very even. And you can see Momas actually might get caught out here. Had to flash away from it. Meanwhile, Kevin actually got caught out of position. Not too worried about that one. You can see Kevin actually going in towards Moma. Moma's been suppressed. Kevin taken down very low. Linak actually tried to go straight into him. Moma's going to be taken very low as well. To Drayan trying to get out of it, but the damage is coming out from Against All Authorities here. SK are slowly backing away. N-rated taken low. Ocelot didn't manage to catch the ulti in the right place, so Soaz is moving to defend on towards Yellow Star. He will back away from that one. Finally, Soaz is in position. They can't kill the man. He's got too much hit points. Linak is the target. Candy Panda will finally focus on him. Soaz is eventually going to go down. Ocelot will pick up a kill as well. Soaz still not dead. Will finally got caught by a Howling Go. Candy Panda will eventually get the kill. Now we move down towards the bottom. You can see Moma and N-rated also very low. Ocelot is going to continue pushing through. Finally, we're going to see SK making a bit of a dent in the Against All Authorities base.
And I understand half why they went for Kevin there first.
Yeah.
You know, he was in and amongst it all, and it kind of made sense since the rest of SK weren't there. But if they'd not have blown pretty much everything on Kevin, that fight could have been a little bit different.
And SK, all they've done is taken a tower and backed away because, well, rightly so, the rest of Against All Authorities are back up, and SK were a little bit low on mana. We're a little bit low on health as well, so wisely backing away. But that's an open inhibitor now that they want to deal with. Candy Panda's going to immediately zip round, clear out this bottom turret, which is being pushed by the minions. A pretty big stack. I think he's just had the call. No, he hasn't. He's going to continue picking that up and say, yeah. Kevin runs all the way down there and says, great, I got one. Thanks for that, Candy Panda. But you can see Yellow Star and N-rated, they wanted to pick up a cheeky kill there. They've warded up the blue. And this is still a very, very open game between these. 19-14, the gold advantage for the first time in SK's favour. But it's still not over. It's nowhere near over yet.
Nowhere near over. Actually, we could end up seeing an hour-long game here. It's one of those that's going back and forth the whole time. Negatron Cloak just being picked up there by Corki. Actually, the Locket of the Iron Solari also finished now on Janna. Meanwhile, Wit's End is there, plus that rendering zone, plus the fade from earlier on Kevin. And Will of the Ancients finished as well on Cassiopeia. So, you know, SK, despite what I'd say being behind pretty much the whole game in terms of their money and then their items, have really brought it back in their favour, and they've played solidly. Actually, it's always hard when you're, you know, it's hard enough to come back when you're 1-0 down in games, but to come back mid-game, actually, in League of Legends is a very, very tough thing to do. And all credit to SK for showing the spirit to keep themselves, you know, to keep their heads up at this point of it.
Yeah, and just look at the AD carries now. So considering how pushed Candy Panda was, he's now 1,500 gold ahead of Corky. That's a big difference. He's got that Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, Phantom Dancer. He's pretty much got the ideal build, along with that Quicksilver Sash, so he can escape the damage, and that's why he's 4-1-5. And it is the AD carriers that are doing brilliantly here, because 6-1-9 for Corky. Corky started off so well, but he has kind of fell behind. And, you know, SK just prepared for a long game upfield. You know, whether it was a case of part of their strategy, it'd be interesting to see with the question against them whether this was their strategy to go for the long game. I'm not too sure if it probably was. Nobody wants to go for a long game. They want to finish things fast, but it wasn't really working out. And with those Quicksilver Sashes so early on, they have managed to work towards it. And now Ocelot's actually pretty scary as well, with 538 ability power. And they are going to go for Baron. And you can see immediate reaction from Against All Authorities. They have got that single ward, and they're going to get caught out with that Howling Gale. Will it be enough, though? They're going to dive on towards Linak. Linak completely got out of position because Baron's already been picked up. Linak will go down very quickly if he's targeted, but the question is... He's also going to get taken down by Ocelot. Meanwhile, you can see that N-Rated is slowly being drawn out. They were just kiting him around, and would you believe it, that's a 4-0 engage, and SK are going to drive it home into the base. 19-18, they've been behind on kills throughout this game, Joe. Now they have that 7k gold advantage. It's looking like we're going to have a third game.
Incredible play from SK. As we said, behind the whole time. They've picked up 3 out of 3 Barons, actually. The first one, which they didn't really utilize. Yeah, the steal was in there, and it's just a overall great play that they've had. They maybe want to finish off Soaz, or at least Ocelot wants to finish off Soaz, but they are going to focus in, of course, on that Nexus. And SK pick up game number 2. We're going into a third and final matchup, and look at Ocelot. He's pumped up for this.
It shows what it means to them. They are very pumped up. They've been fired up. You know, they've got some great team morale. We talked about it early on, you know, how much morale between these teams. They seem to have a cohesion that seems to work. So now